Hello and welcome to the Barclays Fantasy Premier League tips for Game Week 6. It is September 27th, 2012. I am your host, Sean McConnell, as always, checking in a little bit late. They kind of switched up my shift at work, so trying to squeeze in this video quickly, but not, take away from the tips that I got or people to watch. So we will go through today players to watch. I'll have a Defender edition, kind of some hidden offensive talent. This was derived from some results that I found from the Capital One Cup, and we'll go through some winnable fixtures, and also, if I can squeeze it in, just quickly to go through to see transfers in based on players, and who you should maybe look at getting or maybe avoid getting because other managers have them. So, jumping into things, our watch list, like I said, is going to be based 3 guys, 3 defenders, and our first one here is Jan Vertonghen. I'll continue my trend of butchering last names. I do apologize, but until I get used to saying these names, they're going to get butchered. So, regardless, moving on. He was brought in from Ajax to kind of firm up the Spurs defensive line, and he has been on my watch list for the past couple weeks, but he's been getting straight 2s, hasn't really been doing anything, and that's why he's been on my watch list, not on my team. So, this week in the Capital One game that he was playing in, he actually scored, and this kind of brought him up to the forefront in my mind. I was just thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe he can build on this, the confidence running in. So I'm going to actually keep an eye out on him in the Spurs game this week. I suggest you guys do too. He isn't the biggest bargain. If you've had him up to now, I'm going to say it's probably been a bad decision. But that's based on the value that he's at like 6.4, and there's plenty other defenders that you can get, more affordable who've been doing better. But again, he has been on my watch list, and I did want to bring him to light for you guys so that you guys are aware of him too. Second, I want to bring up Kaspars Gorks, Reading defender, very good value at 3.9, and he actually scored as well in the Capital One Cup this week for Reading. I think they won 3-2. So another one that I didn't really have my eye on, but I saw him in other managers' teams, either on the bench, but it was, the name kind of rung a bell when I was looking through the score lines of this week's games, and I figured I'd want to bring him up to the forefront too. And lastly is an Everton player. Now, you're probably not going to recognize him because he's not in uniform, but I really want to use this picture because when I was seeing this, I was just like, yeah, I got to show the boys and girls what they're like after or out and about. It's funny, if you read the description at the bottom, it says Phil Giannielka and guest. So obviously there's no ring there, but anyways, to the football. What you guys want to know. He's had a clean sheet last week, I believe. Everton is really the team of the moment right now. If I could, if I could kind of term them or coin them that way. They got, Baines, Fellaini, Pinar, and they got this man here. So any of those 4 guys, excellent picks. They might be moving into a little bit of harder fixture coming into the later season. But for right now, these guys are on fire, and you want to be chasing performance right now. It's not something that I like to do. I don't want to chase performance. But if that's kind of your thing, look at Everton, and I think you'll find also too, getting into the next, be a good segue into the winnable fixtures, which I'll get into right now. Okay, so for our winnable fixtures feature for game week 6, it's the first one up that I have chosen, or that I can see favorable results for, is Everton versus Southampton. Everton's going to be playing at home. This is the team that I feel is probably going to be the one who will win this fixture. Based on that, you may want to look at some players in the terms of Jelavic, also Leighton Baines, who I recommended a few weeks ago, Pinar, Fellaini. The next 3 fixtures for them are going to be Wigan, QPR, and Fulham. By no means are these easy fixtures, but compared to, let's say, a run of Chelsea, Liverpool, City, some of these top flight teams, it is a little bit better. So I have a feeling that Everton is very confident at the moment. They were going to carry this into their home team, into this a little slide of easy fixtures, and I think you're going to be able to rack up some points for you. Second on the list is Man City and Fulham. I'm going to go with Man City in terms of saying that this is probably going to be a fixture they win. They are away, and it's kind of counterintuitive because I do have Berbatov, but I'm going to go with them because also they have a fixture list of Sunderland, Swansea, and Tottenham, who they're playing this game week. I also think that Aguero might be coming back in that time, which is going to free up some other players. We might see David Silva come back, but then you also have players who are in the lineup. If you want to go defense, you got Company, Lescott, and in the mids you can always count on Toure to be starting. So those kind of players you may want to look if you have some trades coming in. So it's going to be, those two are going to be winnable fixtures for me this week that I'm picking. That if you have some trades, that you should look to getting those teams, because not only will they have a relatively easy fixture this week, but also moving forward, so that way you're not wasting your transfers. Okay, and lastly, what I want to show you guys, we'll get back in here into the FPL site. This here, like I've shown you before, I really like this statistics page. It's can't even say statistics properly, but there's a lot of good information that you can gain from here if you know how to use it and you know what you're looking for. Now, what we're looking for right here, or what we're looking at rather, is transfers in this game week. So these guys are the most transferred in to Fantasy Manager's team. So if your team is Cole, Berbatov, Raphael, Lambert, Fletcher, Baines, Bob, like any of these guys, if you have a lot of these guys, it's going to be hard for you to jump people because a lot of people have these guys. You're not going to be able to jump them if you have the same players. The only difference comes in is when you actually captain someone who's going to actually contribute with a goal and an assist. Otherwise, you're just going to be stagnant and you're going to be sitting behind or down below the table with managers who have maybe different teams or different looks. But then again, you don't want to be, on the contrary, you don't want to have all random guys who do nothing. So you got to kind of mix it up. And I always like to refer back to here just to be like, okay, who does everyone have? Who do they don't have? Like I know a lot of guys in my personal league, the Pinch Grip Patriots. I know I got to send a shout out to them. A lot of the guys in my league, they don't have Fletcher and Lambert. I know that for a fact, and that's why I'm considering them. But again, I wanted to keep this video short so I can get it out to you guys. Use this how you want to use it. But again, I'm just giving you different looks, different tips, my opinion on fixtures that are going to get points out of them. And again, hopefully you enjoy it. I'm going to keep going every week, every Thursday, and each game week, and we'll try and get you good tips and get you to the top of your table. Again, thank you for watching. You can catch us on our Facebook page, our Twitter, or on the website. You can also go and see my post with my team and who I've got and why I have them this week, as always, at theworldcup.com. Again, thank you for watching. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday.